Today we're exploring the USS Bowfin, submarine number SS-287, right here at Pearl Harbor.
This is what Skyways to Highways is all about, chasing adventure together while honoring the places that shaped our country.
The USS Bowfin was launched on December 7, 1942, exactly 1 year after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Because of that symbolic timing, she earned the nickname the Pearl Harbor Avenger. She was commissioned in May of 1943 and immediately deployed to the Pacific Theater. Between 1943 and 1945, the Bowfin completed 9 war patrols, sinking 44 enemy ships totaling over 67,000 tons. She earned 8 battle stars for her World War II service.
They called submarines the silent service, but this place still says so much without a single word.
The Bowfin had a crew of about 80 men who lived in incredibly cramped conditions. They would be at sea for weeks or even months at a time on patrol missions. Submarines operated with 3 rotating watch schedules, meaning sailors were never truly off duty. Every crew member had multiple responsibilities beyond their primary role. The galley had to feed 80 men from a tiny kitchen space. Fresh food typically lasted only 2 to 3 weeks, after which the crew relied entirely on canned goods. Living spaces were shared by multiple ranks. Officers had slightly more privacy, but even the captain's quarters were smaller than a typical bedroom closet. The control room contained over 60 different gauges and valves that required constant monitoring. Diving operations were coordinated by multiple crew members working in precise synchronization. The Bowfin carried 24 torpedoes and could fire from 6 forward tubes and 4 aft tubes. Reloading torpedoes was done manually by the crew and required significant physical effort. After World War II ended, the Bowfin continued serving in the Pacific until 1947 when she was decommissioned. She was placed in the reserve fleet for 30 years. In 1979, the Navy donated the Bowfin to the Pacific Fleet Submarine Memorial Association. She was opened as a museum submarine and has been moored at Pearl Harbor ever since, educating over 300,000 visitors annually about submarine warfare and the sacrifices of World War II submariners. The Bowfin's design was part of the WWII-class submarines, which were among the most successful submarine classes ever built. She was 311 feet long and could dive to depths of 400 feet, though in emergencies, crews pushed them even deeper. Her diesel engines could propel her at 20 knots on the surface, but underwater on battery power, she could only manage about 9 knots for short bursts. Fuel capacity limited patrols to about 75 days, though most lasted 45 to 60 days. The submarine warfare tactics used by the Bowfin and her sister ships were revolutionary. Unlike German U-boats in the Atlantic, American submarines in the Pacific focused heavily on disrupting Japanese supply lines and commerce raiding. Life aboard required incredible adaptability. The temperature inside could reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in tropical waters. The air was often thick with diesel fumes, humidity, and the smell of 80 men living in close quarters. Communication with Pearl Harbor Command was done through radio, but submarines had to surface or come to periscope depth to transmit or receive messages. This made them vulnerable to detection and attack. The Bowfin's most successful patrol was her third war patrol in 1944. During that single mission, she sank 15 enemy vessels. Her aggressive tactics and skilled crew made her one of the top-performing submarines in the Pacific Fleet. Submarine duty was voluntary, and it came with extra pay called submarine pay. The men who served knew the risks. Of the 16,000 submariners who served in World War II, 3,500 never returned home. The submarine service had the highest casualty rate of any branch at 22%. Despite the dangers, morale was generally high. The crew developed a tight bond, almost like a family. They depended on each other completely, and that trust was essential for survival. The innovation that came out of submarine warfare during this period changed naval combat forever. Sonar technology, torpedo guidance systems, and underwater navigation techniques developed during World War II laid the foundation for modern submarine operations. Today, the Bowfin stands as a memorial not just to this one submarine, but to all 52 American submarines and 3,500 submariners lost during World War II. Walking through her compartments connects us directly to that history. Thank you so much for tuning in to Skyways to Highways and watching our tour on the USS Bowfin, as we will be sharing all of our adventures when we take on the highways of America beginning April 2026 and journey our way to Alaska from Florida. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn your bell on so you receive updates when we post or go live, and leave us a comment where you are from. We support you too.